How's it going, guys? It's your boys, Team 23, back at it again with some more project demo content. This time we have Statim, the social networking app for the masses. Why Statim, you may ask? Find out at the end of this video. First, we'll start off with the database explanation.
We made our database using MS SQL and deployed it with Microsoft Azure. The database is fully normalized. Every table has its own primary key, and we use foreign keys to establish relationships. It achieves the third normal form, and there are no functional transitive dependencies.
For the images, links are stored in databases, and the actual image files are stored on Cloudinary. For password hashing, we use an HMAC SHA-512 encryption.
You can find the full ERD in a report.
And now moving on to the backend API of Statim. Here we can see that we have the account controller with two endpoints for register and login, which access the database for validation. So if we look, we have the account controller, and it links the register endpoint to a register function where it queries the database using a DB context and checks that for register that the username is not already taken, so to allow unique usernames, and then it checks that the password matches the confirmed password, and then encrypts the password using HMAC SHA-5112, and then adds the user to the database, and on successful registration returns a token DTO that contains a JWT token as well as the username of the user just created. For the login, we have a similar story where a username and password are sent to the endpoint through headers, and then checks if the user is part of the database and returns unauthorized. If it's not, then it encrypts the password sent and compares the hashed password to the hash password stored in the database. And if they match, then return on successful login, then returns the token DTO with, again, the JWT token, the username, and the URL of the avatar for the user if it exists. And so here we have token service, which is what generates the tokens for unsuccessful authorization for register and login. So here we can see when it's created, we have a remember me functionality where if the user wants to be remembered, then the token has 5 years expiry, and otherwise it only has a 30-minute expiry, so it expires after 30 minutes. From the identity service, you can see that actually get the key, the token key from the config file that is only in the backend, so that we can not have any other services creating valid authentication keys besides our backend API through the routes. We also have CRUD operations for groups. As you can see, we have gets, posts for creating and joining. You can update, delete, leave, and make other users admin. For posts, you can get all the posts by a specific ID, by group, get all the comments for a post, and create comments and posts. And then we have endpoints for users. We can get all the users, get users that match a certain pattern for username, and then we can update a user, upload image, and we can friend other users. Those are all the CRUD operations. Going back, so we have controllers that link those endpoints to functions that we have defined. And here, so you can see all the endpoints are linked to some sort of function that connect to the database and perform operations in the database. As we can see also that we have for users, groups, and post controllers, we have an authorized tag. This pretty much means that unless a valid JWT token is sent with the request is denied. So only valid JWT tokens allow the authorization and use of the users, groups, and posts endpoints. The only endpoints that are not protected are the login and register endpoints from the accounts controller. As you can see, there's no authorized here. Now for editing a user's information, we have the update method, and pretty much the way we have set it up is that the token DTO that is sent contains the JWT token as well as the user's username, and the username that is sent is the user that is updated in the database. And this works twofold because you don't have to check that the user doesn't exist, because the only way that a token has a username is if that username is valid and they have logged in or registered. And then we know that the person that is logged in or registered is the one that is making the request to update the user's information. Lastly, for sanitizing database queries, due to the fact that we use Entity Framework Core with the .NET framework, we automatically have database sanitized database queries, since Entity Framework Core uses SQL parameters rather than string concatenation or manipulation, which prevents traditional SQL injection attacks and most traditional SQL attacks that can be performed in the API. In addition, as was not mentioned in the next part, for the bonus mark features, authentication tokens are automatically expired when logged out and deleted from existence. So as soon as a user logs out, their token is automatically expired and deleted from the system altogether. And then there is some limited offline functionality in the form of the Angular services, which are persistent across the entire session and do not get reset, actually store information that is retrieved from the API on request. So if the user were to request something, get the information, and then suddenly lose internet connection, they would still have the information on their side, and they can actually perform some basic viewing of the users, groups, and posts that they have actually retrieved beforehand from the API. Now onto the next part, which is the client-side application. Now onto the client-side application. You'll be greeted with the home page where you can either log in or register. Let's register a new account with a username that has already been taken, such as Emil, and already done password and valid password and email. On register, you'll see that it will come up with errors in registration. That is because the username is already taken. Now going here, we register with a new account with the standard good old p@ss123, and we register. Valid register, the user is taken to their friends page. Here, a user can add friends. So here you can click the plus icon, and you can see successfully made friends with Rhonda. Now we can go to edit profile, where we can edit the details of a profile. Let's fix blinkvdm@gmail.com. User can also update their password. I'd say pass.456. Where you can see we have invalid because we don't have a capital letter. Changing this to be a capital letter. See it's valid. And now we can save the changes. Profile has successfully been updated, and you can see that the email address has been updated. Going to our avatar, we can add a new image. Going here, we can add this cool profile photo. Where we can see the avatar has been updated and is reflected on our side. Now over to groups.
Here we can see the groups view. On your left, you can see all the groups that you are currently a part of. On your right, you can search for existing groups or create new groups. First, let's create a new group. When creating a new group, you simply enter group name and category, and that's it. You are automatically added as the group administrator. Once a group is successfully created, you will be redirected to the groups view, where you will see the new group that you have just created. Now, you can click on the group that you are a part of to get a detailed view of that specific group. In the detailed view of the group, you will see the option to join or leave. If the user is an admin, additional admin controls will also be available. Since we are an admin of this group, we can update certain aspects of the group, like the category of that group. Group admins are also able to delete groups. When a group is deleted, you are rerouted back to the View Groups page. And as you can see, the deleted group is no longer in your feed.
Now we will move on to searching for groups we are not a part of. Secondly, we shall click on the group and join that group. You also have the option to leave that group, which we shall do. You will then be directed to the group view, and then we shall rejoin that same group. You can also see all the posts made to this group on the right-hand side. To show the updating feature of an admin, we will now log out and sign in with one of the admin accounts of this group. Now we shall update the user from the previous account to the admin role for this group. Now we will re-log in into the account to show that they have an admin role.
Just showing new functionality, there is a remember me option which you can select so that you do not get automatically logged out after 30 minutes of use of the application.
Now we shall click on the same group. And as you can see, this user has admin controls such as deleting the group and updating the category. Next, we shall create a new post. We shall enter a post title and the content of the post. Then we shall simply just click post. As you can see, the post has been successfully created.
And now we can move to the Explore page. This is the post feed, where the posts are shown from all groups which the user is a part of. You can click on any of the posts to find more information about the post and to view the comments relating to the post. You can also create new comments for that particular post. Here you can see the new comment that has been created. This concludes our project demo. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more Statim content. Goodbye, tot ziens, and hasta la vista, baby.